Now we enter our last part of Chapter 3 on crosstabs and sampling. And as with the other chapters, we're going to take a look at some marketing metrics. In this chapter, we're going to take a look at the question of margins and markups. Marketing people have to be able to calculate both margins and markups for their products. Now margins, or contribution margins specifically, is defined as the marginal profit as a percentage of price. So how much profit do you make for each dollar you bring in? Here is the equation for the contribution margin. The contribution margin is the ratio of the difference of price and variable cost to the price. So if my contribution margin is 50%, that implies for every dollar I bring in terms of price, I make 50 cents in terms of profit. So the contribution margin is the marginal profit as a percentage of the price. With this definition of contribution margin and our profit equation of the firm, where profit equals quantity sold times the difference of price and variable cost less my fixed cost, we can rearrange my profit equation of my firm using my contribution margin by substituting in this equation for the variable cost, where this variable cost is derived directly from the definition of contribution margin. Variable cost from contribution margin is equal to the price less price times contribution margin. Inserting this equation in for variable cost, one can rewrite the profit equation of the firm as profit equals quantity sold times price times contribution margin less fixed cost. The quantity times price times contribution margin is also known as the gross margin of a firm. That's contribution margin, the profit as a percentage of price, the marginal profit as a percentage of price. Marketers often also work with markup. Now markup is the marginal profit as a percentage of variable cost. See, margin as a percentage of price, markup as a percentage of cost. Variable cost specifically. We can write that definition in the form of an equation. Markup equals price less variable cost divided by variable cost. We can also rearrange this equation to find that price equals variable cost times 1 plus the markup. In retail, we'll often find the markup is 100%. So 100% plus 1 makes 2, and you find your price is 2 times your variable cost. A very common metric used in retail environments. Other firms use contribution margins markups of 30%. The 30% markup implies the price is 1.3 times the variable cost. Other firms have markups of 500% or even higher. In any case, this becomes a handy tool to say, if I know my costs and I have a standard markup for my firm, I can calculate the price for a given item. With these definitions of contribution margin and markup, you're now ready to do the exercise of firm performance, located at the end of Chapter 3. I wish you well, and next week, next chapter, we'll move forward by looking at normal distributions. Finally, a bell curve.